Hello and welcome to the Mentor Connect Coffee Break. I'm your host, Pamela Silvers, and today we are joined by Corey Halpin from ATE Central. He is going to be sharing some information on copyrights, Creative Commons, and licensing, and how you should use them appropriately as you're working on your ATE projects. Welcome, Corey.
Today I'd like to cover the very basics of copyright. What is a copyright license and why is it important? And how to add a copyright license to materials that you've created. Copyright is the law that gives authors the exclusive right to use, modify, and distribute works that they've created. Copyright is automatic on any work created after March 1st, 1989. Authors do not need to register their work with the Copyright Office to have a copyright. Authors do not need to place a copyright notice on their work to have a copyright. For a work that doesn't bear a copyright notice, the law assumes copyright author, all rights reserved. Because of that automatic nature of copyright, the issue that content creators need to deal with isn't, should I register for copyright protection on my work? You get that automatically. The question to answer is, how do I manage the copyrights that I already have so that other people can use my work in the way that I want them to be able to? Copyright licenses are legal instruments that allow authors to grant others permission to use, modify, or distribute works that they've created. These are explicit permission statements on the work that tell people how they can use that work and under what conditions. Creative Commons is a nonprofit that was created to expand the body of works that can be legally shared under our current set of copyright laws. The main way that they do that is by publishing and maintaining a series of Creative Commons licenses that provide a menu of different options that authors can select from to indicate how their work can be used and shared. These licenses are written by copyright lawyers, experts in this area of the law, so the terms of the license are legally enforceable, and the license actually does what it says on the tin it will do. In the ATE program solicitation, the National Science Foundation recommends using one of 3 of the Creative Commons licenses for works created with ATE funding. Their first suggestion is the Creative Commons Attribution License, which requires only that people who are using the work give credit to the original authors. This license actually does what people often think they have done when they place a work online without a copyright statement. It makes the work freely available for anyone to use for any purpose. The second suggestion is the Attribution Share Alike license. This license requires that any new work based on the licensed materials remain available without further restriction under the same license terms. The last suggestion is the Attribution Non-Commercial Share Alike license, which prohibits commercial use of the materials. Commercial use in the context of Creative Commons means any use that's primarily aimed at monetary compensation or commercial advantage. If you have industry partners who are for-profit companies and you would like them to be able to use your licensed materials as part of their own internal training, the non-commercial terms may not be a good fit for your use case. To add a Creative Commons license to a work that you've created, you can visit the Creative Commons license chooser at creativecommons.org/choose. Tell it that you know the license you need. Select the one you'd like from the list of available options. You can fill out additional detail about the work if you'd like to get a more detailed license statement, but you don't need to. On the right, the chooser tells you what the terms are of the license you've selected and gives you a statement you can use to mark your work. If the work is electronic and only ever going to be electronic, then the website version, the rich text with a clickable link and the icons is fine to use. But if this is print work, work that could be printed, or work that's electronic in a way where people won't be able to click on links, then the print work or media statement is a better option because it gives an exact link to the terms of the license without requiring people to go hunt them down on their own. And as it says, you just copy the text in that statement, paste it on the title or copyright page of your work, and that indicates people the license terms under which the work is available. For further information about copyright and licensing, there are a few resources I would recommend as good starting points. The first is the U.S. Copyright Office Circular Series. These documents are published to provide current, authoritative information about copyright aimed at a general audience. 3 that would be of particular interest for this community would be Circular Number 1, which provides information about the foundations of copyright and goes into more detail than we've had time to cover today. For copyrighted works that are not available under a Creative Commons license, Circular 16A describes how to obtain permission to use a work like that, and Circular 21 goes over the rules for how educators and librarians can reproduce such works. For more background information about Creative Commons licenses and licensing issues more generally, the Creative Commons website has links to a number of excellent resources.
And again, a huge thank you to Corey Halpin for sharing the information today. If you would like more information about ATE Central, please visit their website at atecentral.net. For more information about other topics related to your ATE project, please visit the Mentor Connect library at library.mentor-connect.org and put your keywords in the search box provided. This coffee break was presented by the Mentor Connect Leadership Development and Outreach for ATE project. Please email us if you have any questions or if you have suggestions for future coffee breaks. Thank you very much for your time and attendance.